Hello Math learners! Welcome to our YouTube channel Learn Math PH. For today's video, we're gonna talk about find the value of x worded problems. So without further ado, let's get started! Okay, so ang ating math trivia for today is, did you know who invented an early type of thermometer which is called thermoscope? For those of you who didn't know the meaning of thermoscope is a thermometer without scale. Wala siyang number na scale na. Pwede niyang ma-detect if the temperature is high or low or the same, but there's no exact measurement. So who invented an early type of thermometer called thermoscope? Clue: he is an Italian philosopher, astronomer, and mathematician. Another clue: although he did not invent a telescope, but he made significant improvements to telescope that enabled astronomical observation. Isa pang clue, he also made significant contributions on mathematics, such as formulation of circular inertia, the law of falling bodies, and parabolic trajectories that marked the beginning of a fundamental change in the study of motion. At last but not the least, ang clue natin, he is also considered and known as the father of modern science. If you know the answer, please comment down below. Kung hindi, please watch until the end of this video para malaman ang sagot sa ating math trivia for today. Let's go! So the first question is, a clock was reading the time accurately on Friday at 12 noon. On Monday at 6 p.m., the clock was running late by 468 seconds. On average, how many seconds did the clock skip every 30 minutes? So what are the given? Ang given natin ay nung Friday, 12 noon, okay pa yung ating clock. Tama pa yung oras niya. Pero nung Monday, 6 p.m., meron na siyang 468 seconds na late. Kaya ang tinatanong is, how many seconds on average did the clock skip every 30 minutes? So mamaya gagamitin natin yung x. Let x equals seconds on average per 30 minutes. So ang step 1 natin math learners is know the hours passed. Pwede naman nating bilangin by hand pero by visualization. So para mas malinaw, isulat natin. So muli, nung Friday, 12 noon, okay pa siya. So pagka Saturday, 12 noon, how many hours had passed na yun? Diba sa isang araw merong 24 hours. So 24 hours. So, tiglo 24 hours na lang muna, no? Para hindi tayo malito. So, nung Sunday, 12 noon. So, 24 plus 24, 48 hours na ang lumipas. So, hanggang sa makabot tayo ng Monday, 6 p.m. So, Monday, 12 noon. Ilan na yun? 48 plus 24 is 72 hours. Had passed. Yung kanina sabi, Monday, 6 p.m. siya huminto. Yung sa problem natin hanggang Monday 6 p.m. So isulat natin Monday 6 p.m. So ilan yung lumipas nun na oras? 12. So minus 6 is 6. So 72 plus 6 is 78. So all in all, there are 78 hours had passed since from Friday noon hanggang Monday 6 p.m. So alam na natin yung i-convert natin. So itong 78 hours, i-convert natin into 30 minutes. So for step 2, let's convert 78 hours into 30 minutes. So basically, pwede nyo namang i-times to agad. Pero for formality lang, alam natin yung process. So i-convert natin yung 78 hours into 30 minutes. Ganito, alam natin na sa isang oras, dalawang tig 30 minutes. So ang gagawin natin guys is ganito, 78 hours times, kasi 30 minutes no per hour. Ang gagawin natin, makakancel to, makakancel itong hour. So ang matitira, 78 times 2. So 78 times 2 is 156. 30 minutes had passed. So meron ng 156 netig 30 minutes ang lumipas mula nung Friday noon hanggang Monday 6 p.m. So what we're gonna do next, so step 3 is i-divide natin ang 468 seconds late by 156. Bakit? Kasi yung tanong natin kanina, on average, how many seconds did the clock skip in every 30 minutes? So, divide na natin kasi average. So, let x be the seconds on average skip every 30 minutes. So, x equals 468 divided by 156. So, yung tanong kasi, what is the average eh? So, dinivide natin. So, x equals 468 divided by 156 is 3. So, the answer is, there are 3 seconds skipped every 30 minutes.
Tama bang yung sagot? If yes, please comment I love algebra in the comment section.
Huwag niyong kakalimutan guys yung yung units. Kasi kung 3 lang yung sagot nyo, kung sa mga contests, mga mathematical contests tulad ng MTAP or Math Olympiad, kailangan ng units. So 3 seconds is the final answer. So next question. Okay, so for our second problem, the problem is Lucas bought 5 pieces of toothbrush and a bundle of toothpaste from the convenience store for a total of 250 pesos. If the price of a bundle of toothpaste is 120 pesos, what is the price of a toothbrush? So ang ating solution guys is let x be the price of toothbrush, let y be the price of toothpaste. So sa case ng toothpaste, ano na siya? Fixed na siya, no? Ang fixed, ang given natin, there are 120 pesos ang toothpaste, yung bundle na yun. At yung total payment is 250 pesos. At meron siyang binili na 5 ng toothbrush. So, ang tinatanong, ilan yung price ng isang toothbrush? Kagaya ng sinabi natin, let x be the price of toothbrush. And y naman, toothpaste. So, masasabi natin, ang sabi kasi, both 5 pieces of toothbrush. So, gagawa tayo ng equation. 5 toothbrush, 5x. Kasi yung toothbrush is x. Tapos, sinabi, and a bundle. Kasi sa and for a total. So, i-add natin siya, plus. Total kasi is sum. 5x plus y equals a total of 250 pesos. So, 250. So, ito yung equation natin. So, substitute natin yung value ni y o yung toothpaste. So, 5x plus, ilan yung value ni y? Y equals 120. So, ito si y. So, 120 equals 250. So ito transpose natin sa kabila. So 5x equals 250 minus, kasi positive 120 minus. So sa textbook, ang ginagawa nila, mina-minus nila dito sa minus 120, dito naman minus 120. So yung ginagawa natin, shortcut na lang, no? Kasi understood naman eh. Ganon din naman yung process. So 5x equals 250 minus 120 is 130. So di-divide natin both sides by 5 para makancel yung 5. X equals 26. So therefore, ang final answer natin, 26 pesos is the price of a toothbrush. So this is the final answer. So again, huwag niyong kakalimutan yung peso sign, lalo na sa mga sumasabak dyan sa mga contests. Okay, kahit sa mga exam, mahalaga yan. So, kasi yung price ang tinutukoy. So peso sign, lagyan natin. O kung dollar yung nasa problem, edi dollar sign. So next question. Okay, so for our third question, the question goes this way. Paul
Has
60 pesos and Jake has 120 pesos. Paul is saving 8 pesos per day, while Jake is saving 5 pesos per day. how many days will it be before Paul and Jake have the same amount of money?
And how much is the amount of their savings?
So, ang solution natin guys is let x be the number of days. So, gagawa muna tayo ng
Equation.
para masagot ito. Alam natin na ang sinisave ni Paul ay 8 pesos per day. So, yung per day is x. Per day si Paul, si Paul. Tapos, si Jake naman, 5 pesos per day. 5 pesos. Muli yung x is days, no? Okay. So, per day, 5 pesos yung naiipon niya. Si Jake, meron ng 120. So, plus 120. Si Paul, meron na siyang 60. Ang sabi dito sa problem, how many days will it be before Paul and Jake have the same amount of money? So, yung tanong, have the same. So, equals. So, dapat marunong kayong magganyan, ha? Halimbawa, all together means sum or the total of. So, plus yun. Equivalent. So, lagyan ng equals dapat yun. Or kagaya dito, have the same amount. So, equals sign yun. So, dapat marunong kayong mag-convert ng worded problems into equation. So, kagaya ng sa dito, have the same amount, ibig sabihin may equal sign din. So, marunong na tayong mag-solve niyan. So, transposition lang. So, itong 60 ililipat doon. Dito. Ito namang 5x ililipat doon. So, nagkabaliktad sila. So, 8x minus 5x equals 120. So, 60 magiging minus 60. So, 8x minus 5x is 3x equals 60. Divided by 3, both sides. Para makancel, x equals 20. So, ito yung final answer. So, therefore, 20 days will pass. Again, lagyan natin ng units, which is yung days. 20 days. Kahit ito lang yung sagot eh. Pero kung gusto nyong sentence yung sagot, 20 days will pass before Paul and Jake have the same amount of money. So, pwedeng ganyan or pwedeng kahit 20 days lang yung sagot. Kano yung nila, pera nun? Nung after 20 days, di ba, magka-same amount nga. So, ilan yung amount nga na yun? Di para malaman nyo yun, isa-substitute nyo lang yung value ng x dito sa ating initial equation. Parang ganito. Okay. So, ilan yung value ng x? 20.
So, substitution.
Plus 60 equals 5 times 20 plus 120. So, 8 times 20 is 160. Plus 60 equals 100 plus 120. So, 160 plus 60, 220 equals 100 plus 120, 220. So, correct. So, yung amount na kung saan after 20 days, pareho na sila ng amount of money, ito yun. Magkano yung nila, yung pera na yun after 20 days? Ito yung sagot. Okay, so the final answer is
220 pesos and
20 days. Next question, please. Okay, so for our final question, number 4 is, twice a certain number is the average of 7/8 and 1 3/4. What is the number? So, ang gagawin natin is solution, let x be the number. Gagawa tayo ng equation. Ano yun? Sabi dito, twice a certain number. So, yung number natin x, di ba? So, 2x. Kasi yung twice, ibig sabihin 2 times. So, 2x equals is. Kapag nakalagay yung is, twice a certain number is the average. Equals yun. Yung equivalent sa mathematical equation, yung is equivalent to equals. So 2x equals, kasi is. The average of 7 over 8. So yung average, dinidivide yun na. So ano yung ipa-plus muna? The average of 7 over 8. 7 over 8. 8 yan. Plus 1 and 3/4. Tapos i-average mo sila. Alam natin average, i-divide siya kung ilan yung inad. So dalawa sila, so i-divide natin over by 2. Okay? So okay malito guys ha. So ito. Ulit. Twice a certain number to x is equals the average of 7 over 8 plus and 1 and 3/4. So average, dinivide natin by 2. Kasi kung addition, kung sum lang yung sinabi, ito lang. Average kaya dapat may divide by 2. So para madali, ilipat natin 2 dito sa kabila. So magiging 2 times 2 is 4x equals 7 over 8 plus itong 1 and 3/4 i-convert natin siya into improper fraction. Paano nga? So ito times natin. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7. So ulit 4 times 1 plus 3, 7 over 4. Okay. So, para ma-add ito, ang kailangan natin gawin is, ang gagawin natin dyan is ganito. Times natin siya by 2 over 2. Kasi kailangan nga sa addition ng fraction, dapat pareho sila ng denominator. Kulang pa to ng, para maging 8 ito times natin siya sa 2. Kasi 2 over 2 is equivalent to 1, so wala rin pinagbago yan. So 4x equals 7 over 8 plus 7 yan. Plus 7 times 2, 14. 4 times 2 is 8. So pwede na natin silang ma-add. No? 7 plus 14 is 21 over 8. So 4x equals 21 over 8. So para makancel itong 4 dito, so ilipat muna natin no para maliwanag. So ito, rewrite lang natin. 4x equals 21 over 8. So divided by 4, and this one also, i-divide mo siya by 4. So x equals 21 over 8 divided by 4. So ang rule ni division dito, proceed sa multiplication tapos ito maging reciprocal. Ibig sabihin, ibabaliktad mo to, flip mo siya. Kasi di ba 4 over 1 yan? So x equals, mangyayari, ang rule kasi ni division, no? Magiging multiplication, tapos ito, babaliktarin mo. 1 over 4. So, 21 times 1, 21. 8 times 4, over 32. So, this is the final answer. So, the final answer is 21 over 32. Okay, so balikan natin ang ating math trivia. Did you know who invented an early type of thermometer called thermoscope? Clue, siya rin ang the father of modern science. Siya rin yung nag-improve sa telescope. So the answer is Galileo Galilei. So pwede siyang i-pronounce as Galileo Galilei. British yun. Sa Galileo Galilei naman sa US. Galileo Galilei was born in 1564 in Pisa, Italy, the city famous for its Leaning Tower. He taught at the University of Padua and later lived and worked in Florence. Although Galileo did not invent a telescope, he greatly improved its magnification and thus its usefulness. Galileo contributed greatly to establishing the fields of physics and astronomy. He discovered the laws of free fall, projectile motion, and the concept of inertia. Among his many significant astronomical discoveries are his identification of craters and mountains on the moon. So siya yung naka-discover dun sa moon. Yung mga na hindi to smooth surface. Siya rin ang naka-discover ng moons of Jupiter and the rings of Saturn. At kanina sinabi natin the father, he is also considered as or known as the father of modern science because he was the first person to conduct experiment and gather empirical evidence to support his ideas. Kaya siya tinawag na father of modern science. So isipin mo, si Galileo Galilei is a mathematician, philosopher, astronomer, the father of modern science, so scientist din siya. At marami pa siyang na-discover or na-improve tulad ng telescope at ng early type of thermometer. Okay, maraming salamat sa panonood ng video na ito. Kung gusto mo ang ganitong uri ng content at matuto pa ng higit paano mag-solve ng math problems and ideas, pwede kang mag-subscribe sa ating YouTube channel, Learn Math PH. At huwag mo rin kalilimutang i-turn on ang notification bell para lagi kang updated sa ating mga exciting na mga uploads. Kung meron kang tanong, please comment down below. Pwede ka rin mag-suggest ng next nating mga videos na pwede nating gawin. Kung saan areas o topics ka mas nahihirapan para matulungan tayo paano mag-solve ng mga math problems. So lagi nating tandaan ang ating outro message. Every problem there is and there always has a solution. So, love lots, keep smiling, and keep learning. Bye!